Welcome and thank you for your interest on building trust and finding solutions, working together on accessibility to deliver results in the town of Antigonish by Callie Scott and featuring Mayor Laurie Boucher. The town of Antigonish is exploring ways to address accessibility action items voiced by people with disabilities through photos, which impact all who live, work, and learn in the community. Some ideas to promote an inclusive community include improving and maintaining access and usability of the built environment for active mobility in Antigonish. We need to address uneven sidewalks, ensure working automatic doors, and suitable placement of buttons. Increasing perceptions of safety by increasing visibility through streetlights and painted crosswalks and parking spaces. The adoption of audio and visual timers, the removal of temporary obstructions. Support of inclusive spaces which encourage social interaction and activity for all, including libraries, parks, trails, and picnic benches. Ensuring our restaurants and public spaces are accessible and usable for all via wide and straight entrances and ramps. Promote beautification of the town, adding to sense of pride and belonging in the community. Maintain and plant flowers. Display community and first voice art, cut trees and branches, while decreasing graffiti and littering in the community. In addition to people with disability, many of these policies may positively impact members of the aging community, families with young children, people who are new to the community, as well as local businesses and service providers. Following detailed analysis, the final stage of this project strive to share photographs and lived experiences of daily activity with stakeholders, policymakers, and the wider community to effect site-specific change in the people with disability experts community. We were able to share the valuable insight into the built environment by people with disability experts with urban planners and members of the Accessibility Committee and the local community. Mayor Boucher from the town of Antigonish shared how this lived experience research may be implemented and transferred to address different needs within the community.
Accessibility is not just for people with challenging mobility. It's more universal. It's for everybody. It enhances everybody's life, from young parents with strollers to people that are maybe temporary disabled or having challenges with crutches or walkers. But it's these things that make the whole community more welcoming and easier to get around for everybody. So although we do concentrate on people with disabilities, really accessibility is for everybody. A committee is made up of some members of council, as well as some people from the community, both with and without lived experience of needing accessibility within the town. We gather information and we report back to council. We make recommendations concerning the accessibility needs of the citizens working, living, and also the people visiting it.
So why is it important to promote accessibility in the town of Antigonish?
Well, it comes down to that accessibility is really a human right. Not only for the people living, working, and raising a family here, but also for visitors coming to Antigonish. And we have, as a local government, we have a role in taking down those barriers and making sure that there's not more barriers constructed along the way. We recognize that the diversity among the people with disabilities, and our aim is to improve the independence and the well-being of those living in our community. One of the biggest concerns, challenges that we have are the older buildings and infrastructure. So we have to ensure that going forward, that we try to remedy that with new infrastructure and at the same time correcting our old infrastructure. So we're committed to improve the accessibility concerns in the areas of both our built environment and the services that we offer as well. The condition of sidewalks. One of the problems that we have is the building code itself. The building code has a limit of what it does as far as accessibility. It doesn't go beyond that and look into best practices or even doing the Rick Hansen accessibility. So our role is also to educate building inspectors making sure that they're aware of best practices, making sure that they know the difference between to the code and going above and beyond that. We are very committed to making progress in all of these areas.
How can the town use this feedback to promote an accessible environment in the short and long term?
Yeah, so I think there's another role we play in building trust. We've had building trust with the community, especially the community with lived experience with disabilities. Um, uh, we haven't been very proactive, but now we are, and we have to build that trust up, and we want them to know that we are listening. And it's through their recommendations that we have the ability to change policy. So that we can better have a well-being for the community. Antigonish is a wonderful place. And are one of our best assets are the people, and we want to make sure that we build that trust with them, and going into the future, ensure a more accessible, welcoming place for people to live, raise their family, work, and also a nice place for people to visit.
By using Photo Voice to explore the lived experiences of daily activity and mobility in a rural community, we may better understand the structural and environmental facilitators and barriers to creating an accessible, built environment for people with and without disabilities. The study emphasizes the need to work together with people with disability experts and apply site-specific knowledge with respect to what makes their rural community accessible and usable. These findings provide first-hand knowledge that may increase members' participation in their community safely and independently. This project was made possible by the Peach Research Unit at Dalhousie School of Planning, the Canadian Association for Community Living, and ReachAbility, and a special thank you to the Accessibility Committee of the Town of Antigonish, Mayor Boucher of Antigonish, and Juniper Littlefield for your collaboration with this project. For more information, feel free to contact us.